All right, according to YouTube, we are live. Welcome, folks, to Battle Above the Clouds from the Great Campaigns of the American Civil War series. This is our second and probably final session of this scenario, Scenario 3, the Battle of Chickmauga. How's it going, Pat?
It's going good. How are you doing, Gary?
I'm okay. I actually remembered to send the tweet that I prepared in advance, which I always do and hardly ever remember to send them. So we are at the beginning of turn 2. We have finished turn 1, and we need to look at reinforcements, actually, because there are some Confederate reinforcements here. So Kershaw and Colquitt are placed in N4123. So let's figure out where that is. 4123 is exactly where, not quite. It's near where Law is. So
Right.
let's go grab them. That's intriguing.
On the other side of the Ringgold Gap. Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, they're going to go here. And our finishing up with the recovery button actually ended up placing breastworks markers on them in the reinforcement track. So let's just get rid of them.
That's weird.
Because they had no fatigue. That's why.
Ah,
So
okay.
you can't forget to do that. You can always leave, right? So, all right. So that's it. Otherwise,
Oh, hence I got some breastworks over at yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it automatically gave me some breastworks in the south. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
like
that's
that.
the reinforcement phase. Do you want to do any leader transfers?
I might. So let me see here. You can pick up any of your leaders and put them anywhere in their command,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Which for Rosecrans basically means he can go anywhere, and then Thomas has, I think, 4 stacks there. He can go in any of those 4 stacks.
Let's see. Place them together. Let's see, McCook. Hmm. Happy, but where do I want Steedman? One, two, three. Yeah, I'm happy with Steedman. Where the heck's Crittenden? Yeah, he's near his guys, so I'm happy with that. Who? Okay, that's reserve. Who's the 14th Corps? Wow, some of Thomas's guy. Oh, it's the cavalry. They're just way up north there.
This
Okay.
fatigue on top of Law should be gone now. Because he was unable. He did not move last time.
All right. So that's. Yeah, I think everybody's done. So now, question.
Mm-hmm.
To become unexhausted.
You have to start the recovery phase with 0 or 1 fatigue.
Got it. Okay. And just trying to see here. Flip. Yeah, so he's exhausted. Oh, it's the white outlining on top. Okay, cool. All right, I have moved my leaders.
Okay. All right. So I am not going to move anyone. Actually, everybody is not where I want them necessarily, but they're where they need to be.
Right.
So we are into the action phase at that point. So we roll.
All right.
All right, it's Confederate initiative. I'm going to activate Bragg, who is going to activate Cheatham and Stuart. Is that right? Stuart A up here. All right, so we'll do Stuart first. Now, Stuart's going to have to make it. Actually, we'll do Cheatham first. Stuart's going to have to make an extended march roll. Excuse me. They actually both have to make an extended march roll. So we're going to fatigue him to fatigue 2. And we're going to move him. It's going to be a 1 hex minimum move. And then we're going to pull up the chart and look at extended march. For Pete's sake. Hold on a second. All right. All right. So Cheatham is disorganized, and he has manpower of 11. So he is going to roll march by unit on its normal side. So it's there's no pluses because we're not increasing from 2 to 3, but we have to make the roll because we are on the exhausted side. All right. And it shows on the extended march table when you have to do that. If unit's on its normal side reaches 3 or 4, or if it's on its exhausted side and reaches 2, 3, or 4. So we're going to roll a die, and I'm trying to see if there's... any modifiers, and I'm not seeing one. You're going from 1 to 2, not 2 to 3. All right, so we're going to roll. We don't want a 6. 4. Okay, so we're fine. So had I rolled a 6, I'd have lost 1 manpower.
Okay.
Now, that does not count in the victory point tally. Manpower losses from extended marches do not count. All right, and we're going to activate Stuart here. So we'll flag him to fatigue. And I needed to roll. So that's 7 actually. So pull him off, and he is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. That terrain is rolling. It is worth 3. So he can do it. And he's not in his Zoc when he enters. So he can be right there. I should have moved the artillery too, but because I didn't declare it, I'm supposed to mark those when I make the declaration, and he cannot legally move. So maybe I'll have a chance to get him there, but not right now. So that's it. So we roll. Wait 1 second. Let's make the roll. 3. Okay, so that's a tie with a 3. That's Union initiative. I have to make the forced march for Stuart.
Go ahead.
He is exhausted. He is. So he's not a 6, so he's good.
All right.
So now it's your initiative.
Here. Rosecrans is going to order a prepared assault on Stuart with all adjacent units.
Okay, so that is a grand assault.
Right.
So, do we have... Now, I will happily concede that the player aid in this game is not all it could be. Much as I love the series, it needs 1 additional player aid. I'm pulling up the
combat. Yeah, it doesn't have anything about grand assault. It just says prepared.
So there's prepared attacks, okay? Which if you look at the combat chart, there's prepared attacks, which is a march attack.
Right, but which I'm looking at. I see it, but it
You
does.
want
Yeah,
to
I'm
attack with from 2 hexes, correct?
correct.
Okay, so
Correct.
you need to grand assault.
Right.
Now you could just assault right from 1 hex,
I
but
want to do a grand assault. Yes.
yes. All right, so 1 second here. I'm having problems finding the stuff in the book. Um, there we go. All right. So step by step, you will roll for commands. So you're going to roll 1 die, and there's no modifiers. You roll a 3. All right. If the roll is 6 or more, the Grand Assault does not go off. If it's 5 or less, and it is, subtract the number rolled from the army or district leader's command value. Rosecrans is a 4. The result is the assault number, which is going to be 1. Okay, so you can only use 1 hex. You're committed to the assault at this point, but
Right.
you only get 1 hex, which probably will be the hex Rosecrans is in, I would assume.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So, and then it's exactly, so everybody, all of your guys gain a fatigue.
Okay.
Okay. And then we combat. So I have 5 plus 3, and you have something like 11.
Yes.
You have 12.
12. Yep.
Okay, so it's going to be 2 to. All right, so let me get the pad. All right, so we have attacker is a 2 to 1, so +1 for odds. What's your highest rated leader?
Thomas.
At 3. So he's
Yes.
okay. So his combat modifier is a 3/4. That means he's 3 on the attack and 4 on the defense,
Okay.
which makes perfect sense for this campaign. +4. I'm at a +3 for leader. We are in rolling, which I'll check, but I'm reasonably sure does not provide a combat. It makes a difference for artillery. How much artillery do you have?
It looks like I have 2.
Okay. You have 2 and I have 2, so that's a 0. So if we look at the combat modifier differential table, we're in rolling, so that's a -1 for insufficient artillery advantage. All right, so you don't have 5 hexes covered by Zox, so there's no modifier there. There's no river or anything, right?
Nope.
You're attacking across a creek, actually. That's worth a +1 to me.
Oh, is there? Let me see. Yep. Well, that's not a big
That's a
creek.
creek.
Yeah.
Nope, that's
Yep,
creek.
yep,
Creek
yep.
is +1.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Nothing else applies here. You do get a +1 because it is an assault. So that's a +1. All right, so you got +1, +4, -1, +1. So I count 6, 5, +5 for you, and +4 for me, for a net +1 on the roll.
Let's roll.
So let's roll. All right, so it's going to be a 2 + 1 for a 3. So you have, you said you had 12 factors total?
Yes.
Okay, so you're looking at the +3. You're 1 big F little a. The little a just means that you can advance after combat. The big F means that you take 2 levels of fatigue. Now, I, on the other one, what is my manpower? 7? Oh, just bad enough. I take 1 big D little r. So I must retreat. I am... Big D means I'm disorganized, which I am already disorganized, so that doesn't do anything. This will send me right to fatigue 4. And I'll have to retreat between 2 and 4 hexes. So we will go 1, 2. Let me.
And
look.
you lost no manpower, right?
It's a 1 DR. It's a 1 DR. I did lose 1 manpower.
Okay.
So let me mark that off. And you lost 1 as well.
Okay.
All right. Is that where I want to actually go? I think I'm okay with that retreat. All right. So that's your activation. So now we roll. That's a tie with a 4. This is a insubordination check. So nominate a Confederate leader and check for insubordination.
Now, if I pick Hindman, what do I have to roll?
Where is he? Hindman is highly insubordinate. He is within Bragg's command radius, so it's a +2. So and a 6 makes him insubordinate.
And if he was out of his radius, what would the bonus to the roll be? Still +2?
You'd get another +2.
Let's see.
So he would almost certainly be insubordinate unless you roll a 1.
I'm going to try it on Hindman. Let's see if I
Okay.
get lucky. No, I do not get lucky.
Okay, you needed a 4.
Yep.
All right, so that's nothing. So initiative. That's a Union initiative.
All right. We are going to... Thomas is going to activate Baird and Reynolds. Make sure that's what I want to do.
Okay.
Let's see. Yes. And no, do not want to do that. You can't attack with a fatigue 3, can you?
You can. You cannot assault with a fatigue 3. Is that correct? I'll check it, but I think you can't assault at a fatigue 3 or 4. No, that's not true. You absolutely can. It's fatigue 3 or less. You must have a fatigue 3 or less.
Baird and Reynolds are going to activate. All right.
Just about the only thing that you can do with fatigue 4 is cavalry retreats. You can still do cavalry retreats at fatigue 4.
So it's Thomas, so it gives them a +1. Here we go. 3.
So you did say Baird and Reynolds, right?
Correct.
Okay, that fatigue. You just put that fatigue on?
Yes, I just did.
Very good.
One. That's that. Let's roll.
That is a
Tie.
tie. Union wins on a tie with where the die is 1, 2, or 3.
Okay. Rosecrans is going to try to do a grand assault on Bragg.
Okay. So you're going to roll. The first thing you do is roll.
Right.
All right. So you are going to subtract that number from his command value. And if the result is 0 or less, the assault does not happen.
It does not happen.
So it does not happen.
Nope.
Now we roll. Ooh, Confederate initiative. All right. So I feel like we have to extricate Bragg from this situation. So we are going to... Zocs do extend across creeks, but not rivers. Let me check something. Pretty sure that's correct. All right. All right. All right, so we're going to activate Pope, who is going to activate Cheatham and Hindman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. So Cheatham is going to go to fatigue 3. Hindman is going to go to fatigue 1. So, and everybody's tied up in Zox here too. So, let me roll the movement die. That is a 4. So, moving Zoc to Zoc uses your entire movement.
Got it.
So, Bragg, along with Crittenden and Pope here, is going to go 1 hex. One hex to there. That is an extended march because he's going from 2 to 3. Now, for this one, because he's going from 2 to 3 and he's on its exhausted side, there's a +1 to the roll. So a 5 or 6 will be bad news. He has rolled a 1, so he is okay. Hindman, on the other hand, I don't know if it's Hindman or Hindman.
It's Hindman.
Fella I know that whose name is spelled that way pronounces his own last name Hindman. He is going to go there. And was that in fact all I could have activated? It was. That's fine. All right. So we're good. That's my activation. So we roll.
Tie.
Tie on a 3 is Union Initiative.
Okay. Thomas is going to order Negley forward. So we get a +1 because it's from a leader.
Yep.
So here we go. 3. And when I say forward, I mean there. Let me give him a fatigue.
Okay. The creek is does not have a movement point cost.
Doesn't matter. It's a 1 move.
Yeah.
Because the hills certainly do. All right, let's roll.
That is a Confederate initiative. All right, we're going to activate Buckner. Who will attempt to activate Preston, but it's a leader activation, so he gets he can activate that for B-Corps artillery as well, which he will do. He can actually activate Stewart as well, but Stewart's got a 4 fatigue. He can't really do anything. All right, so activating both those units. Roll for the dice. That's 4, 5, 6. So, let's see here. We'll move Buckner. No, we should move the artillery first, depending on where they're going to land. That's the question. All right, so add fatigue. Next level to fatigue. They're going to march there. That is an extended march. However, he is fine. Buckner gets his fatigue. And he is... what did I roll for movement? 5?
6.
6? Okay. Well, he's going to go 1, 2.
Okay. And
Now we roll.
we roll.
That is a tie. It is Union Initiative.
Let's see here.
It's funny because Sunday we played for like an hour and a half before we got our first tie.
I think we are going to... Crittenden's going to activate Van Cleve. So... let's roll. Ugh, that sucks.
That's a big 2.
One hex move. That's it.
Okay. Now we roll.
And
Union initiative.
we are going to... it doesn't matter who. Rosecrans is going to send an order to Negley. So here we go.
Okay.
Let's see how many movement points he gets.
3.
3.
That's not Rosecrans actually doing that. All
It's
Rosecrans do, yes, all Rosecrans does is order grand assaults.
And he's going to stop there. All right. Next activation.
All Bragg does is rotate on his own thumb. That's a Confederate initiative. All right, we're going to activate Walker, who is going to activate everyone underneath him. I think so. All right. So we roll. That's a big 3. It's probably sufficient. So that's 1. They're going from 0 to 1. That's 1, 2, 3. So that's fine. Next up is going to be Liddell, who's again going exhausted, but going from 0 to 1, so he doesn't need to make a force march either, or a extended march either. Force march is different. Force march is something different. We really haven't talked about it yet. He is going to go 1, 2, 3 on top. Let me pull Walker himself off the top, and then Gist, fatigue him, is going to go 1, 2. Walker stays there.
All right, let's roll.
Confederate initiative. We're going to activate Armstrong, who will activate James Wheeler and DeBrell. This is 2d6 plus 2. 2d6 plus 2. So that's 12, actually. All right, so that's plenty. Clear is 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And that's good right there. Actually, no. That's good right there. All right, that's it. Let's roll.
Give them their fatigue.
Oh, that's right. This is why you do it first. All right, so we roll. Oh, okay. So Union initiative.
Okay. Is there any kind of route march type of thing that you can do in the game, like move extra but not
Yes.
enter Zox?
So
okay.
let's talk about that actually. And let me pull the book up for this. Of course. As soon as I do that, the thing locks up.
What are you doing over there?
I'm pulling up Force March.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, the unit player may enhance his active unit's movement allowance by declaring a force march. May only be declared in step 3 of the march procedure, so that's basically after you roll the number. It's after you've rolled... 1 second. I want to clarify whether it is before or after the roll. It is after the roll. So you can declare it after. You can decide to declare the force march after the roll. You cannot force march if you are disorganized. So the procedure to force march is you flip the strength marker to its disorganized side, and then you roll a die and you subtract 1 from the roll. That's for an infantry force. The sum is the number of movement points added to the active unit's movement allowance. For cavalry, it's 2 dice. And you still subtract 1. But if you roll too high, if the unmodified roll is a 6, if you roll a natural 6, then you lose 2 manpower. This also does not count for victory points.
Okay.
So you got it? So basically, you declare the force march after you roll the die to see how many movement points you have, or you can choose to. You have to be organized. You flip it to disorganized, and then you roll a die. If it's assuming it's infantry, it's just the only difference for cavalry is you roll a different number of dice. You roll an extra d6 and subtract 1, and that's how many extra movement points you get. But if you roll a 6, you lose 2 manpower.
Okay. All right. Let's see here.
And the fatigue does not change, so you're already fatigued at that point.
Let's see. We are going to activate Minty.
Where's Minty? Under
Up
McCook?
north. Nope, he's up north. He's a cavalry guy.
I got you. Okay.
And here we go. Ooh, 11.
I hear he's fresh.
He is. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's that. Now we roll.
Union initiative.
We are going to...
There's probably not much need to force march in a scenario like this. A scenario this short, in such a compact area. But in like the campaigns, you do see it. We saw it a lot in Long Roads to Antietam, for example.
So we're going to activate... Let's see here. Thomas, why are you so far away?
He's under a rock.
Yeah. I think, by the way, this Fat 2 has to be here. I think that because...
Under Whitaker?
Whitaker's exhausted for some reason. Flip.
They got attacked last turn. That's why. And
Right.
they were at Fat 4.
They weren't Fat 4.
Well, they might have been Fat 3, actually.
Right. And it makes sense that Mitchell has, the breastworks because he didn't go anywhere. And there's White. I'm just double checking these guys. It looks weird. All right. So we are going to move. We are going to activate.
John Longshore, we might, if we have time at the end, we might talk about the GMT update.
They get enough free press.
Well, they do. They're not taking advantage of any of the free press I've given them over the years. That's for sure.
So let's see. I'm going to activate Mitchell. Stedman's going to activate Mitchell because he's within range.
Mitchell's under the breastworks. Is that right?
Yep. And he is going to go.
The breastworks just goes away.
Right.
I will take. You got it.
And here we go. A 3.
So
let me look at the.
Steedman activated Mitchell.
Yes.
That is legal. The path is 3 hexes.
Right. 1, 2 to there. And we roll.
All right. Union initiative.
Steedman is going to activate Whitaker, A, who's got the fat 2 there. And so he's going to go to fat 3.
Okay, very good. Now at Fat 3, that is an extended march, just FYI.
Okay, well, we got to. He's going to go 1 to there. And so now I roll a die, right?
1 second, I'm looking at the modifiers. You're not exhausted, is that correct, or are you?
I'm not exhausted now.
Okay. All right. So you get a +1 essentially because you're a union unit that's not in certain groups. So you do get a +1, but that's the only modifier. And what's your manpower?
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so you're fine. Organized always. If you're organized, you're also organized, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's only a 6 would have had an effect. All right, so he's good. Was that it for that activation?
That is it. Now
All right,
we
so
roll. Insubordinations.
That is an insubordination check.
Let's see here. Let me look around. Let me noodle around. Think DH Hill. Yep. Let's do it. Here we go. So he's 4. He's massively insubordinate and he's way out of range of Bragg.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so
Hill is insubordinate.
Is insubordinate. Just a moment. There we go.
And we roll.
Union initiative.
Okay.
And you'll notice you've had like the last 5 initiatives,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
And
yes,
that's
yes.
going to happen. And it's not just the ties, right? I mean, for example, Stonewall Jackson's Way, the Confederates win all ties, which is second Bull Run, actually. The Confederates just win all ties regardless of what the number is. And it makes sense for that campaign. And you'd be amazed at the amount of traction they've gotten out of that simple mechanic of who wins the ties in the various games and modifying them to fit their respective campaigns. It's about the same in Atlanta Is Ours as it is here. I think it's very similar, in fact. Except that it's not insubordination because Bragg's not there. It's something different that happens on certain tie results. All right, so go ahead.
We are going to activate Wilder. I think is it Wider, whatever. The
It's
guy
Wilder.
next to,
It's Wilder.
Yeah, Wilder next to Cloud Church. And see what he gets. Ah, good. He needed that. Because he's going to go there. And, well, he really didn't need that, but that's what he's going to do. So
Was that just a 1 hex move?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we roll again.
Union initiative. Mr. Tweezers, how's it going tonight? Oh, it's definitely Winfield Scott was definitely Fat 4. No question about that.
What does Breastworks do? Does it give you a modifier?
Doubles your manpower for purposes of the
Ooh.
odds calculation.
Ooh, don't like that. So we're gonna activate McCook, the cavalry leader.
McCook. Where's McCook?
Kind of down south.
Gotcha.
And here we go. No. That's what I want to do. And he's going to activate the guys like in his hex. And
Okay,
here
now
we go.
let me point out that you can activate both of those hexes with R. Mitchell if you want. You don't have to, obviously. Because
No, I
he's the
don't.
overall cavalry leader down there.
But I do not want to do that.
Okay, that's fine.
So here we go.
Woo!
Wow, that's some crap. He can
That's-
move 4.
That's a 3.
No, because he's a McCook who's in that hex is a cavalry leader.
Yes, it's for the Union. It's 2d6 normally, and you add +1 for the leader.
So he's going to go 1, and then he can move in there for 2, correct? Even though the other guys are there?
There's only 2 strength points there. That does not have an additional cost.
Okay.
If there's 2 strength points or less, it doesn't cost more.
There we go. That is the move. Boom. Okay. All right, let's roll.
That is a tie. You may make an insubordination check.
I think... All right, we just did Hill. And it looks like Breckenridge is under wraps. I don't care about him, but I think that I would like to see... Do I want Buckner or do I want Hindman? Where is Hindman? Is he with Bragg? Where did you just...
He's under... Where is he? He is southwest of Bragg by himself.
Southwest of Bragg by himself.
See him under the fatigue marker?
Yes. Yes, I think it is Hinman time, so it's only a +2.
Snow Hill Post Office.
Nope, failed. Okay.
Okay.
Roll again.
Oh, Confederate initiative. How about that? Okay. Let's see here. I think we're going to activate Polk, who is going to activate Hindeman.
Okay.
That is a gigantic 2. So we're going to next level him. He is shockingly unexhausted. So he will go... one hex to go right there.
He's going to join Bragg, basically.
Correct.
All right, we shall roll.
It is a 6 tie. That is Confederate initiative.
Okay.
So let's see what we're going to do here. We're going to activate Joe Wheeler, who is going to activate the 2 cavalry units underneath him. I've rolled a 6, 7, 8. So we will fatigue these guys. This guy's going to go here.
I didn't realize they were so disorganized.
I'm really strung out and disorganized and exhausted all over the place, actually.
All right, let's roll.
That is a 4 tie. That is an insubordination check.
Think we need to do it to Buckner.
All right,
here we go.
Roll it up. He is insubordinate. It would be cool. Oh, look at that. Hold on. Let me try this feature. It's just a counter. However, you can right-click to place an insubordination marker, which is kind of cool.
Yes. I'd experimented with that. I'd already checked that out, saw it was a function. Okay, so... Excuse me. Let's see, who do we have there? We're gonna leave it. We are now, Mitchell is going to activate the cavalry that was with him.
Wait, did we roll after the insubordination?
No, we did not.
Okay,
Let's
we
roll.
need to roll.
Confederate initiative.
Okay, it's Confederate initiative. So let's see what we're doing here. We're going to activate Polk, who's going to activate. This is where I'm actually going to mark him. Maybe. Do we actually want to do this? I really don't, actually. We're going to hold off on that. We're going to do something else. I'm going to activate Wharton, who in turn activates Cruz. So 2d6 plus 2. That is an 11, 12, 13. Which is good, because here's what we're doing. 1, 2, attack on the march. That is going to be a prepared attack costing 8 movement points for cavalry. Okay? So, let's figure this out. All 6 surrounding hexes are occupied by enemy units or enemy Zocs. So there's a chart for this, hold on. That is worth a +4, by the way.
Okay.
All right, what is the terrain you're in? Is that open? It is. So that's not anything. All right, so you have what? 2 and I have 3. So that's 1-to-1, so there are no odds. Attacking... the command values are equal, so that's not worth anything either. So... But we do get a +1 because it is a prepared attack.
Right.
Now, because this is a cavalry attack, there might be some additional stuff. Just a second while I look through the modifiers here. By the way, chat, please tell me if my volume is okay, because I have a new microphone pop filter.
You sound good. You're skosh louder than you were, but I don't think it's annoying.
Well, right now my face is about 5 inches from the microphone because I've got my face close to the screen.
Right.
All right. Now, if he was insubordinate, that would, and you can roll for anybody, right? You don't have to roll on the highly insubordinate guys. You can roll for any leader you want. You just have to roll a 6. Cavalry charges are a special rule for Stonewall's Last Battle, so that's not here. Artillery, we have to count for artillery. You are at a 0, and I am at a 0, and we're in the open, so that does make a difference. That's going to be a -2. For not having sufficient artillery superiority. That appears to be everything. We're not attacking it over a creek or anything else. So I've got +4, +1, -2, which gives me a net +3 to the roll.
And so I have plus nothing. All right.
You have, net +3. All right, so attacker, so it's -1, +3, so +2. So looking at the combat chart, we're both on the 1/2 to 3 column here. So +2 is a big, for you, big D, which means you lose 3 fatigue levels and retreat. And we need to look at that.
There's only one way he can go.
But you don't, but hold off on the retreat. And then on the +2, I get a big D, which means I gain 3 fatigue levels. And he's actually at Fat 4 now. because he gained it 1 just to do the attack. And it is he can advance. We said it was +2, right? +3, yeah.
Right.
Okay,
Yep.
so big D, little a for me. All right, so retreat. Let's look at the retreat priorities, because here's where it gets problematic. The first priority is that you follow a road, pike, trail, or IRR into a hex more distant from active enemy units, and it's not in a ZOC or enemy occupied. You don't follow a road, but it's not in a ZOC or enemy occupied. Or the retreat is not into a hex more distant from the active enemy unit, but it's not in a ZOC, which is not the case. So we're down to retreat priority 4. Retreats into an enemy ZOC, but not an enemy occupied hex. Retreat is into a hex more distant from enemy active unit than the hex retreated out of, which is not correct. The active unit, by the way, here is Wharton. So you see the hex to your northeast? That's retreat priority 4.
Okay.
Okay. And then just a second. You will lose 1 manpower because it's not on a road. So that counts.
Okay.
All right. And Wharton can choose to advance. Sure. So we got a little cavalry battle down here off of Catlett's Ridge. All right. And that's the activation. So we roll. Confederate activation. Let me check one thing real quick. Sorry to be the slow person. Where does Longstreet come in on turn 3? Longstreet is placed on any Confederate infantry unit in his wing. Okay, so that works. Now, you notice he's not here, right? So I can't really activate these guys because Hood is not near him. So we're stuck marching. So we're going to start with Law. We're going to activate Law. +1 is 7 points. That's kind of what we needed. Okay, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we roll.
Fatigue.
Yep, you're right. Thank you. Union initiative.
We are going to activate the... So let me get this straight. This mounted infantry, if it activates itself, it can move as cavalry, correct?
That is correct.
All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to activate these guys. And they get a grand movement points of 4. And they're going to go...
Which mounted infantry are we talking about?
Right here.
I got you. Okay.
One, two.
Oh,
three.
stop. They're cavalry. You're right. There's no cavalry retreat there. Proceed.
And there's no ZOC.
That is correct. That's true.
So that's where they're going. And we roll.
Confederate initiative. We're going to activate Kershaw, who has 2. So he is going to go 1, 2 into Ringgold, throws fatigue on. So that was that for him. We roll. Union initiative.
All right. So we are going to activate Mitchell. Is going to activate Campbell. And let me give him a fatigue. Roll, get a +1. That's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we roll.
Confederate initiative. We're going to activate Colquitt. No, we're not going to activate Colquitt. We're going to activate Kershaw again. And he has a 4 this time. So he is going to fat 2. Go 1, 2, 3, 4.
And we are not going to leave. We're not going to run away.
You can if you want, because they function identically to cavalry, unless
Yes.
they're activated by a leader, in which case it's special stuff.
But I do not want to.
Then
So
you don't
let's-
have to.
For my initiative.
You know, I'm not attacking. I'm out of movement points. So
Right.
all right.
Let's
So
see.
what? Hold on. I didn't roll yet. It is, however, your initiative.
Crook is going to activate his guys. No, I don't want to be fat 4. Ugh. We're going to pass.
Okay, so now I have a decision to make, right? I can also decide to pass, thereby ending the turn. I do have some extra stuff I would like to do, which should be relatively obvious, but also, though, I have this large line of guys around Bragg that all can recover significantly with a recovery phase. And on turn 3, Longstreet comes in, which is a big advantage because I can put him with. He'd be kind of spread out, right? I'd have to put him with Kershaw, and he'd be out of range of his 3 units. But still, so basically, the way it ends up splitting up is Longstreet becomes the wing commander for White and Orange. Okay, so Hood's troops and Walker's troops, and then Polk is in charge of everybody else. Basically, those are the 2 wing commanders. Yeah, I am going to choose to pass and end the turn.
Okay, let's end it.
Okay, so all we have to do here is hit the button. Boom, and that's what happens. I'm not sure we should be building forts, but that's something we can look at should it come to that, I suppose.
What they do is they automatically give you, if nobody has a fatigue, they say, well, you could have built breastworks, so why not? Which I like
Yes.
in the module. Yeah.
Actually, that's exactly right. You didn't move. You're at fatigue 0. You can build breastworks, so do it.
Right.
So I have no problem with that. All right, so turn 3, Longstreet's going to come in. This is the last turn. There's no random event phases first. There are no random events. Longstreet will land with Kershaw. And that's the reinforcement phase.
So hold on. Why does this guy have a fat 3? That makes no sense.
Where was
That's
he?
just
Where was that?
right here. Right here.
That's Whitaker?
It's yeah, it's a glitch. He didn't have a fat anything last turn. So any built-in breastworks. So that's some
Yeah,
sort of
delete that marker.
yeah.
And that's the strange one from last turn too. That's interesting. Okay.
And Law should have recovered, right?
Law. What was Law at?
He had a fat one because he marched. That's it.
You are absolutely right. He should have recovered. Now he's not disorganized, so he's not fatigued. All right. Well, like I said, we don't promise there's no bugs. Let me eyeball everybody else here. So Gist is where he should be. Walker's guys under Walker are where they should be. That B Corps artillery started at 1, went to 2, so he stays exhausted. So that is correct. Cheatham is the same way. He started at 1, went to 2, so he doesn't lose his exhaustion.
And same with Stewart.
And same with Stewart was all the way at
Yeah,
Fat
yeah.
4 because he actually fought. Everybody else looks totally fine. Everybody else looks totally fine. All right, let's get rid of this loose marker and move along. So we're starting turn 3.
We actually did some fortification builds there in the south where we're not doing anything.
That's true. Harrison, for example, built breastworks because he didn't move. He was actually where I wanted him. That was the whole point down there was to pin you in with Zox.
But if you look at like Hill, he built a fort, as did so guys who haven't moved for 2 straight turns. It's like you can also improve breastworks, right?
Yes, yeah.
All right, cool.
But you'll notice that the fort you are building a fort. It's still just ×2.
Right.
So
right.
All right. Okay. Very good. All right. So we're ready to roll.
Let's leaders.
Oh, leader transfer. You're right. Do I want to do anything with leader transfer? Maybe I do. Actually. Yes.
As did I.
Hood will go to Law. Not sure that does a ton of good, but it might be worth something.
All right, let's do it.
Rag stays where he's at. Polk will stay where he's at. Joe Wheeler could move. I think not for any particular reason. Yeah, I'm ready. Let's roll. Yeah. Union initiative.
Okay. Thomas is going to activate his core.
Okay.
Actually, everybody except the hex that he's in, I should say. And let me roll. That's a 4. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that.
Now, hold on a second. So that last move, that was Negley, right? We just moved on top of Reynolds?
Right.
All right. So that's the hex. You moved 1 hex on a road, which costs 1. And then you moved on top of a guy that had 7 strength points in the hex. And the hex, not on a road, and the hex costs 3 to move into. And you only had 4. So you cannot make that move.
All right, let me do this. So it's this. He's going to go there. Boom. On a road. So that's 2
so
and then 2
1,
more.
2.
Right.
Plus, how much was in there already? 9?
Right.
costs +1 movement point to do it. So
Right.
it's fine.
Okay. Now, okay, what's this extra fatigue marker over here?
Where?
It's on There's a fatigue marker on Stuart. There shouldn't be. That tells me
There
all right,
should be. There should be. He was at Fat 4.
Okay, gotcha. All right, let me.
Which means he in recovery last turn, at the end of last turn, he lost 3 fatigue levels.
Okay, let's roll.
Confederate Initiative. What kind of witchcraft can we do here? Look at what kind of cavalry stuff I can do with Armstrong, and there's just no way he will have enough movement points to do anything useful. Now, what we can do is activate D.H. Hill, and will in turn activate Cleburne. So let's fatigue. Let me get rid of this because that's not going to be here anymore. That might not be correct, so I won't delete it yet. So we're going to fatigue, and we're going to attack. Well, we'll see how many points we roll first. Ooh, we have 8 points. So we are going to prepare to attack against McCook and Ray. All right.
I can try to cavalry retreat. Though.
You cannot. This is not. You have to do it when I entered the hex, which was turns ago.
I thought you could do one if somebody attempts an assault.
But this is not an assault. This is a march attack.
Oh, got it. So you're doing a march attack.
Yeah.
Got it.
Now, it is across a creek. So you get D1 +1 for terrain. You have a 2 for a leader, and I have a 3. So I have a +1 for leader. I have a +1 for it being a prepared attack. There's obviously no flank modifiers for this. There might be one for me attacking down slope, though. Let me check that.
I am in heavy woods, too.
You are in... Well, I think that's just woods, actually. Okay, so that will make a difference. Hold on. No, it totally does not make any difference. Absolutely not. Okay. The woods, what will the woods do? The
artillery is completely ineffective.
Yep. So artillery, we don't even look at it. Zocs are restricted across woods hex sides that aren't crossed. So that's another thing, is woods do block zones of control. Or woods hex sides block zones of control. However, it's a 10-2, which is 5-1, which is +5. Is that right? It's +4. All right, so you have a net +1. I have a net +6, which makes the net for the entire thing a +5.
Okay.
Kind of why you don't want... I mean, not that you really had much chance to do anything, but it's a bad position for McCook to be in, just camped across the creek from a giant-ass infantry formation. All right, so
great.
let's roll. All right, so I said +5. So the roll is -2, so we're on +3. So what do you have? 2? You have 2. So defender is on here. So +2 is defender big D. So you take 3 fatigues and retreat, which obviously is a free retreat.
Four to 6 hexes, right?
4 to 6 hexes. Sorry, 2 to 4 hexes. 4 to 6 for a cavalry retreat.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, this is not that kind of cavalry retreat. This is a 2 to 4 hex retreat.
Yeah, I just went.
This is a You moved 4? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're good. Very good. Okay. All right. Now, unfortunately, I am on the 7 to 11 column, and I take a 1 big D little a. So I can advance, but there's no sense in me advancing, so I'm not going to. And I'm all the way up to Fat 4 now. Again.
No losses for you, though.
No, I did take a manpower loss, actually, which is unfortunate. Because the whole point of that on the +5 is a pretty good attack, right? So my hope was to do at least 1 manpower loss to you. Although, so the way the CRT is structured here, it's really hard to eliminate 1-2 steps of guys, right? Especially if they're cavalry. So
exactly. So what I did is exactly what I intended to do, which is just to tie you up.
Yeah.
Right. And since you did that, I think your fort build goes away, right? Because you're fatigued now.
No, the fort build should stay. It won't advance this turn.
Got it. Okay.
So I'll keep it there, just in case you want to attack him. You're obviously not going to. You're probably not going to attack him in a fort in a mountain. Probably not. But I'll keep it there. He's certainly done. He's not moving anywhere.
All right. Initiative times.
Yep. That is Union initiative.
Rosecrans is going to declare a grand assault on Stuart.
Do not at this time have to say how many hexes it's supposed to be. Okay.
Right.
You just say grand assault. So first thing you do is roll.
Gotcha. It's grand assault.
3. Right. So you're going to subtract 3 from your 4 leadership rating. You get to use 1 hex.
Not just the hex he's in, but any hex, right?
Any hex that's... Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So
it does not absolutely not have to be the hex that he is in.
But it is going to be the hex that he's in, and they're going to attack Stuart, who's right in front of him.
Okay. So we have what looks like 17 to a giant 4. So that's going to be 4 to 1, which is going to be a +3. It's an assault, so it's a +1. It's into what is rough. Is that rough? That's rough, which is just a different artillery column for its combat effect. So we'll look at that in a minute.
I have 6 artillery.
You have 6 artillery, and I have probably 2.
Yep.
I have 2, so you're at plus. You may actually get a plus out of this. Where's the table? There we go. All right, but it's rough, right? So +2 to +4. So basically, rough is going to negate that. All right, leadership. What's your leadership?
3.
And Stuart is a 3, so that's a wash. So what I see is a roll +4.
Okay, let's do it.
So, okay.
5.
So that is a... You subtract the defender's roll from the attacker's roll. So it's a -2 +4 for the combat modifiers. So we're on the +2. So how many... let's do me first. I am at... this is the combat value, by the way, not the manpower. So I'm at 4 on a +2. So it's big D, little r. So I'm going to take 3 fatigue levels and retreat, which is probably pretty bad. He is going to go 1, 2. We'll go here. Let me think that through. Yes, I'm satisfied with that. No manpower losses. And then on the +2, you're at 17.
Oh, my guy's fatigue went up, right?
Well, hold. Well, you fatigue the whole hex before you roll.
Yes,
actually.
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we said, okay, what was the roll? The roll was a 0. No, it was a -2 +4, so +2. So +2 on 12 to 18, you're going to lose 1 manpower, big D, little a.
1 manpower, big D, little a. Hold on. Let me place another fatigue marker. 1, 2. Yep. That's it for all the fatigue markers. So what was it again you said I have to do? Big D?
1 manpower from one of those units. Big D, which adds 3 fatigue to everybody that attacked. And little a, which means you can advance after combat.
Okay. Three fatigue levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you do disorganize too, by the way.
Oh, I get a disorganized?
Yeah. If you weren't disorganized already, you're disorganized now.
Well, that's interesting. That's a horrible result for a 4-1.
That was a +4 is a pretty good attack. So that's not a great result. But welcome to the club. Just what I just did. So let me verify that we're doing the result correctly. Just a moment. Yep. Big D flips to disorganized, and you increase fatigue by 3, up to a maximum of 4.
And what's the R?
Big R or little R?
Let me see. Okay, I see 1D.
We have not had a big R yet. Little R is retreat.
1DA. I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
1 big DA. There is no little D, actually.
Did I have
There's
a flank
big R and
attack
little
bonus?
R.
I did not have a flank attack bonus. We did the
No.
artillery. I'm just checking out. Nope. Ratio modifier, tactical modifier. Attacks not in a rain turn. And that's only in March. Okay. So you only get, for an assault, it's just like a prepared assault. You don't get an extra bonus? That's weird.
You do. You get a +1 because it is an assault. But also because it is an assault. Well, remember, this was a grand assault that turned into a regular assault, right?
Right.
You can attack with the entire stack as opposed to one unit.
Right. Okay.
And we did calculate for the assault bonus, I think. Did we? +3 for odds, +1 for.
Yeah, as a +4, I rolled a 1. Yeah. We're good.
And that's the problem. You rolled a 1.
Right. All right. So let's go.
All right. That is a tie union initiative.
Okay, we are going to activate.
Now, you'll notice that there's really no way that a unit is going to fight 2 battles in 1 turn unless they absolutely smash through whoever it is they fought.
Well, that's weird. Oh, okay. No, it's not. Oh, he just retreated. That's why. Okay.
What's that?
No, I'm talking to myself.
You will, I think, agree that this is a game rich in operational choices.
Yeah. And I'm also finally starting to see its limitations for just this battle. This is meant to teach, but it's not really. Yeah, it's not good for not in a bad way. It's just not.
Well, one of the criticisms of the series is that it is not good at simulating battles, but it isn't a battle level game, right? It's an operational game, and it shows the difficulty of gathering your forces and getting everything to fire at the same time when it's time to do that grand assault.
So, I actually think I am going to pass.
All right, I'm not. All right, so let me. Right now, here's what the manpower looks like. There have been 6 Confederate losses, and again, forced marches and extended march losses do not count for this. And 5 USA manpower losses. Now, the 5 losses, if we end at 0, it's a plus minus thing, right? If we end at 0, the Union wins a huge victory. Let's actually look at it, because right now you're gonna win this scenario. 0 to 14 is a Union substantive victory. Less than 0 is Union decisive. 15 to 29 is a Union marginal victory. So the Confederates need to get at least 30 victory points to do anything. Now here's the problem. Right now, your 5 losses that I have inflicted are giving me 10 points. Okay? But my 6 losses that you have inflicted are giving you 18 points. So right now, the victory point total, because I haven't taken any of the objectives, and cavalry doesn't count unless they're sitting on it at the end of the game, that means that, on the other hand, there's a whole open field here too. So right now you're ahead at like -8, right? Way ahead. But we're going to fix that, I think, in a second here. So I am going to activate Kershaw. No, we're going to activate Colquitt, actually. And he's way out of command range of anybody, so he gets 1. It's a 2 because he's Confederate, but it's still 2. All right, we roll. I didn't lose you, did I, Pat?
No, I'm here.
Okay.
You have the initiative. Yeah.
I just went with Colquitt. Roll. He got a 1.
I did roll. I rolled a 1.
That was
You
1?
rolled a 6.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm going to activate Colquitt again. He is still out of command range of everybody. But this time he has rolled a 6 for 7 movement points. This makes a difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. That makes a difference.
Now we roll.
Confederate initiative. We're going to activate Hood, who will activate both B.R. Johnson and Law.
Okay.
So we have 5 plus 2 is 7, which they need because this is a crap movement. So fat him. All right. So they're stuck.
Yeah, if you want to play run to the victory points, your only option is the guys with Longstreet.
Yeah, and there's not that much running to the victory points I can do. I could take 2 of them credibly, but that's it. All right, I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to activate Hood. Hood, you got Hood pinned against the river.
Right.
So that's actually not a great spot. I mean, he's got a decent manpower there. He's going to be hard to dig out, but
yeah, I'm just trying to hold out to the end of the turns.
Yeah.
I'm good with it. Yep.
All right, we're going to activate Kershaw instead. So should we take that movement roll? Did I roll for movement? Yes. Should we take that movement roll, or do you want me to roll it again?
I don't care.
All right, so that's 6. He's not within command range of Hood. So that's 1 plus 1 is 2. 3, 4, 5 plus 1 is 6. And that's where he is.
Give him a fat.
Didn't I?
Nope.
You're right, I didn't. All right. And we roll. Confederate initiative. We're going to activate Nathan Bedford Forrest. And whoever's under him, it's Scott, who gets an atrocious 4 plus 2 is 6. By the way, the red lines, the red roads are railroads.
Yes.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we roll.
Fatigue.
Yep.
And no
Oh,
breastworks.
yeah, let me get rid of that. All right. You didn't roll a rate, did you?
Nope, I did not.
All right, that is a tie. That is an insubordination check on a 4 or 5.
We are going to make Forrest insubordinate. He is.
Okay, so Forrest is outside of Bragg's command range.
+2.
So he's +2. Let me just check the rule.
Yeah, I rolled a 5.
Okay, so yeah, he is insubordinate. That's irritating. Can you not declare it on Forrest? Let me check it. I didn't think that was the case, but... you can't declare cavalry insubordinate. It's
then
infantry or artillery. I'll let you take the roll and move it to somebody else.
Longstreet.
That's...
Well, it can't be Longstreet. It's got to be one of the subordinates.
It wouldn't do anything to Longstreet. It would have to be one of the subordinates. Hood would be a good choice. But
because it applies to all his subordinates, right?
It applies to him, but it can't affect his subordinates because then he can't declare an assault. So say Hood was insubordinate and B.R. Johnson's running around and does a march attack, he's not affected by Hood's insubordination status because he's not. It's not Hood doing the attack, but Hood would prevent B.R. Johnson from taking part in an assault because he's the only one who can declare an assault other than Bragg himself in a grand assault.
Let's make it Hood. I don't think it matters much this turn. So
okay,
go ahead.
It might not.
And let's roll.
Yep. That is a Confederate initiative. We're going to activate Colquitt. Yeah, Colquitt. 6 movement points. We'll go to Fet 3. Go 1, 2. And we roll. Union initiative.
We are going to activate Wilder A. He is cavalry.
Okay.
And he is going to go there. Let's go.
Okay, roll. That is a Union initiative. All right, so let's think about that attack against J. Mitchell. We'd be looking at a 3-1. There's no flank. Artillery wouldn't count. I'm not sure that would be a factor anyway.
I think you get a minus also because of the insubordination. It's like a -2.
On a march attack, yes, but Kershaw is not insubordinate.
Right.
we'd actually be better off attacking from B.R. Johnson because he's got more manpower. It'd be a 4-1. So you'd be looking, but it's into rough. Whoops. It's into rough, so that means the artillery's not going to help. And we'd be looking at a +3 for odds and a +1 for leadership.
And most importantly, it's a hex you don't care about.
Well, here's the question. I mean, am I realistically going to bleed you in that battle? And I don't think that I am, because it's going to be, I have to get a +5 result, which I could do, right? It'd be a +3 or +4 to the roll. Well, let's do it and see what happens, but we'll explain as I go here. So we're going to activate B.R. Johnson, who's activating by himself. Let me roll it. This is important. So he has 3 points to play with. He is going to... So this will be a normal attack. He's going to attack Jay Mitchell. Okay. So it's 9 to 2, which will be 4-1, which will give me a +3, +1 for leadership.
Right.
And I think artillery doesn't do anything.
Right.
And there's obviously no flank modifier. So that's it. So it's a +4. So let's roll it. That is a +4. Okay. So
we both rolled 5s.
Yeah. So you're big D, big R. Now the big R is a rout. Okay. So you retreat and you're demoralized. So which is bad. So you'll retreat 2 to 4 and demoralize. Let's look at rout real quick.
Retreat 2 to 4, right?
Yeah, but I'm at 7 to 11, so I'm actually going to take a little F, big A. So I needed one more to cost you a manpower, but at least I didn't cost myself a manpower.
So I'm fat 4, right?
You
Disorganized.
Are big D, big R. Yes, you are fat. You add 3 fatigue. So if you were fat 1 before, and I think you were fat 0, you're at fat 3.
Okay, decrease. And then how do I demoralize them? There's got to be... Oh, there it is.
Right click. Yeah, that'll do it.
All right.
I'm just double checking to see if there is anything special that to the retreat that happens on a route. And I'm not sure that there is. Oh, actually, it's a route is 4 to 6 hexes, not 2 to 4. That's the difference.
Okay, then he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go to Chattanooga.
Okay, and he does get demoralized.
Yes, he is.
All right, so I'm at 7 to 11. So I'm gonna. It's small F, which is 1 extra fatigue. And A, which I may or may not actually do, but I didn't lose a manpower, and I don't disorganize. So he's going to be at fat 2. Do I want to do the advance? Boy, so putting Hood under insubordination was a pretty good idea right there, right? So. Because now there can't be an assault, not led by Hood, right? Which means there can't be an assault anywhere up there because there's nobody else to declare it. Which kind of means that I'm not going to dig you out of, what is that, McAfee's Church. What did you have in there anyway? Like 5? Oh, hell, I wasn't going to do that anyway. But at least I bought B.R. Johnson a little bit of breathing room. I actually have 1 movement point left. But I can't actually go anywhere. So, actually, I can advance. Hold on. I can advance after combat. And I had 4 movement points. I spent 3 to do the normal attack. So I can actually do... No, I'm stuck there, actually. So do I? I'll take the chance. I'm losing the scenario right now, so I'll take the chance and try and see if I can do something. So we roll. All right. So that's a Confederate initiative. We'll activate B.R. Johnson. He gets 2. So he can go 1, 2. Well, he has to stop there, actually. So he can attack. He has movement points. He has 1 movement point left, so he could do a hasty attack. And maybe we want to, actually. So it'd be another 4 to 1. But this time I've got some flank on you. I'm going to end up with a +1 because I'm covering 5 of the 6 hexes. So let's do it. All right, so leader will make no difference. Odds will be a +3.
I've got a better leader than you do.
-1.
So my leadership is 3 and yours is 2.
Oh, you're right. So it's a -1 for the hasty attack. And it's another -1 for the leadership. But it will be +1 for flank. And I believe that's it. So we're looking at a +2 attack. +3 for odds, +1 for flank, -1 for hasty attack, and -1 for leadership.
+2. Anything for terrain?
Let's check that, actually, because that's a rough hex. But it's also a town. I want to make sure that the town doesn't do anything. I don't think it does, but let's check it. It is a town, right?
Does not look like it does anything. Nope.
No, that doesn't do anything.
All right, so you got a +2.
And we know it's rough, so we know artillery doesn't do anything. So let's see. I got to get lucky with this. That is somewhat lucky. So that's a 3 +2 is 5. All right, which actually is a big result for me. So on the +5, you have 2, so you're on the 1/2 to 3 column. It's a 1 big D big R. So you lose a manpower, you're disorganized, you gain 3 fatigue, and you rout and become demoralized. I have already tracked the manpower. And remember, a rout is 4 to 6 hexes.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Now the +5 for me is 7 to 11 is big E, little a. What is big E? End action. So he's done, but he was done anyway. And we can advance. We will, in fact, advance into Rossville. And you'll notice I didn't take an extra fatigue there because it didn't come up on the table. So I'm still at Fat 3.
Okay.
We roll. Union Initiative.
We are going to activate Palmer. Crittenden's going to. So that's a 4.
Well, as was the case historically, what looks like this is going to play out, which I think is going to come down very close on victory points now. Longstreet will have done all the actual work.
That's kind of not what happened.
I know, but
this is what I meant by it falls apart as a battle. So it's a great campaign, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then when you're doing racing for victory points on the last turn, that's not a good.
Well, yeah, but you did kind of leave everything open in the back too.
Yeah, but it's just not. That's what I'm saying. It's. I love this game.
You're right that's a very artificial thing that's happening because of this scenario.
Right. You don't play battles in the great campains of the
you don't. That's absolutely true.
Right.
It's great for instruction, and you can get a good game out of this. Don't get me wrong, and I'm having a great time.
Right.
But you're not showcasing the real strengths of the series without a longer scenario. It doesn't have to be a
Correct.
campaign necessarily. Like some of the roads to Gettysburg scenarios are like 12 turns. That's
Right.
enough to get a lot in, right?
Right. But 3 turns, right. It doesn't work for,
Yeah.
but it's not meant to do this. So
Right.
I'm good with that. All right. Okay. So let's roll again.
That is a tie on a 3. That's a Union initiative, actually.
All right. We are going to activate him again.
So stay
We're
tuned for news about the campaign.
We're still in 3 from Crittenden. So here we go. There we go. And that's what we wanted. Move right there. Cover up that victory point hex. And we roll again. Let me give him more fatigue. Over to you.
All right. Confederate initiative. We're going to... no, he's done. Never mind. We're going to activate Polk. So we activate Polk with a 4/5. Get Bragg out of the way, and Polk for that matter out of the way. Both the whole stack's activating. All right, so we said 5. The rough costs not on a road. The rough costs 5. Ugh. Okay. Well, I guess that's where we're going then. All right, and then that actually it isn't on a road actually. So then Hindman will fat 1 and move 5, and then Bragg and Poe can actually stay with either stack because they all started together. So
Right.
they'll go there.
All right, let's roll.
That is a Confederate initiative. We're going to activate Buckner, who will activate Preston and the B Corps artillery. That will be 6 points. Let's pull the artillery out first. All right, so the artillery are going to go 1, 2, 3. And then Preston with Buckner are going to go 1. We said we had 6.
Right.
There's 5 more. And we roll. Wait, 1 second. All right, now we roll.
Go ahead.
Confederate initiative. We're going to activate Walker, who will activate... Who's commanding the reserve artillery? All right. So the reserve artillery, this reserve artillery unit at least, doesn't have a leader that can activate him. So he is going to be here by himself.
Right.
So we're going to activate Gist and Liddell. And let me pull them out. Along with Walker. And Walker's going to go... did I roll for movement? I don't think I did.
No, you did not.
That's 5 points. So Walker's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Gist is going to fatigue and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And the artillery's sitting out there on the river saying, guys, where'd everybody go? Guys. All right, now we roll.
So tell me you actually have a plan to take victory point hexes, or are you just backing up?
Oh, I'm just backing up with this main force.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah, all right. So,
But backing up gives me up. Now, I'm not sure I'll have enough time to execute it, but backing up gives me room to maneuver. Right up against you like that, I don't have any flexibility.
so let's roll.
It is a Confederate initiative. All right, we're going to activate Walker, who will activate Liddell and Gist. Which makes my last move look stupid, actually. So +2, that's 7 points. Fortunately, that's enough to do what I need to do. So fatigue him. Fatigue him. All right, so we're going to go, that's 7 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have enough points to do... Where's the card? A normal attack on Wilder at Widow Glen.
Okay.
All right, now they're going to defend normally. The demoralized doesn't affect their attack. Demoralized 1 anyway doesn't affect their defense, but they're also disorganized. So, and that's a factor. All right, so normal attack looks like I'm at a penalty for. Yep. So the attacker is going to start with a -1 for leadership, but we do have 6 factors to your 1/2. So that's 12 to 1. That's going to be a +11. That's a +11. And I don't see anything else. No Zoc, anything. But there's a massive numerical advantage.
I believe I have artillery advantage.
You don't get artillery. You're demoralized.
Ah, okay.
But I may not have enough artillery, so let's check that. I have 1 artillery. You have 2, but it's 0 because you're demoralized. All right, so we're at +1. This is bad for me. That's rough, though, which means that the artillery, the advantage, artillery doesn't make any difference in rough. So it's a +12, which is a crazy roll, actually. But this is what, there's no overrun. This is kind of an overrun. You know what I'm saying? So we roll.
Okay.
Okay, so -4 + 11 is a +7. So you, at a 1/2, are going to take 1 manpower. Big D, little r. So you're just eliminated.
Right.
What's the actual manpower there? Is it 1? It is 1. Okay. And then I can just advance. So there's that advance. And then Walker... How many movement points did I say I had? 6? I think that's
You were at -1.
I'm not moving him again. I'm talking. I declared an activation on Liddell too. So he's taken the fatigue, so he might as well move. I think I had 6. So let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Poop. Not quite enough. You got a lot of manpower there anyway, though. So actually, that's okay. We'll stay where we're at.
All right, let's roll.
That is a Union initiative.
Crittenden is going to do an assault on the reserve artillery.
Okay. It's just 1 hex, but you get an extra +1 for it being an assault, right?
Right.
So,
right.
All right. So I am seeing it's rough, so artillery's not going to do anything. Woods. Let's just double check the woods. Woods artillery completely ineffective. Zocs are restricted. That's fine. So I see 7-1. So that's a +6 for you.
And I get
I see
+2.
+2 for leadership. So that's a +6 +2
+8.
That's probably it. Let's roll. All right, so it's a +1, +8 is a 9. So that's exactly the same type of deal, actually. Nobody's going to do anything. You may choose to advance if you want. These guys are... just toast. And that is a manpower loss for the Confederacy. Which are even right now, 7-7, by the way.
And with that, I think we should just call it. We're coming up at 7:30.
That's true, actually. So it was actually my plan to call it when we call time anyway. So let's figure out the victory points, but then let's also mention that our game this coming Sunday, where we have that longer slot, is going to be this again, and we're going to start the campaign. As I think you can see, it plays pretty fast. Even with me looking stuff up all the time just because I don't want to screw it up. And I'm somewhat paranoid about that at this point. So for reasons I won't get into. So tune in for next Sunday for the entire Chickmauga campaign. But let's figure out the victory points. So
it looks like I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you have 1, 2, 3 is what I see. 3?
Okay,
yeah.
So from well, they're not all even. They're not all worth the same amount of points.
Right.
Chattanooga obviously is worth the most points by a ton. So that was a problem if Forrest had a chance to charge in there at the end and stay there. That'd probably cost you the game right there. But he's got to hold out for 3 turns too. All right. So from casualties, you have 21 points and I have 14. Because we have even numbers of casualties.
Okay, so I'm at +7. Right, gotcha.
Correct. You're at +7. All right, so which ones do I hold? So you can actually just hide them and then count the gray ones. Actually, it hides the gray ones too. Damn it! All right, so Kelly's Field, Widow Glen, and Jay's Mill. All right, so Kelly's Field is +10. Widow Glen is +8. Jay's Mill is +5. All right, so that's 13, 23. 23 plus 14 is 47. That is actually a Confederate substantive victory. A little bit gamey because of the way it played out. But like we said, that's going to be...
And we don't count Union-held victory point hexes.
No, we don't, actually. The only way the Union gets victory points in this scenario is for manpower losses.
Yeah, I thought this was wonderful, except for the very end.
That's an artifact of the scenario.
Yep. But great system.
Like I said.
I think it. Yeah. Now I'm curious how they do victory in the main campaign. It feels like a run for victory points would make a whole lot of sense with that.
Well, so that's the thing. You get victory points for there's more ways to gain victory points in the campaigns, and it depends on the campaign. And I haven't read this one, so I don't want to start telling you stuff and it be maybe full of crap at the end of the day. But for one thing, you have to track county control. So if you take control of counties, you get points for that. There are more ways to gain. Generally speaking, the victory point calculation is more complicated in the advanced game. When we're talking about the campaigns, that's what we mean.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that the county thing that you're used to doesn't apply here.
Well, it's in the sequence of play.
Is it?
But it might only affect certain counties too, right? So for like roads to Gettysburg, only certain counties count as for county control. So
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So we'll have to look at that. Plus, we get random events. There's a lot more reason to do things like leader transfers because you can have somebody say Rosecrans with widely dispersed corps that he then needs to move between to get stuff happening. Random events. There's a whole pile of stuff. You can build pontoon bridges across the Tennessee in the campaign. So there's a lot here that we will enjoy going through starting on Sunday. So I mean, obviously, I have to bone up on the campaign rules.
Yeah, as do I. Only problem there's such fine print in that book, man.
So I mean, the rule book there's a lot of aspects to the system that are really strongly procedural and dependent on what order you do them in. The recovery thing is an example.
No. I don't mean like figurative fine print. I mean
literally fine print.
Yes.
Is the new one any better? Hold on.
The scenario book.
Yeah, the new one's really not any better. Sorry. Well, I'm talking about the 1.3 rules, the new version of the rules that came out with Roads to Gettysburg 2 and Atlanta is Ours. It's a same size print. It is pretty small print. And it's also another one of those rule books that doesn't really adhere to the case system, which is not my favorite thing.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not a massively complicated system, so I don't think it really hurts it, but it is a little bit fussy, right? So you have to actually go in and kind of get it right, which is kind of why I'm going through these procedures every time. I'm actually going to probably make some play aids of my own between now and Sunday if I have the time, which hopefully I will.
Okay, so I think we could say goodnight to everybody, and we'll see you for Hot Dry Season on Thursday.
Hot Dry Season on Thursday. There's already a card on the YouTube channel for that, so please make sure you're subscribed and you click the little bell so you get the notifications. 7 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, which is our usual time.
And we might even be doing this campaign like a couple times straight. Like, so another thing for everybody is our Victory game, Civil War game. We just decided to call it. It's far enough on, and we don't think Gary can catch up.
Yeah, I don't believe that I can salvage the Union position in that game. I can hang on till the end, but I don't think I can salvage a victory out of it. So we're going to call that a learning experience and move on to something else, which does not mean we will not revisit it at some point again in the future.
But there's so much other.
I enjoyed it a lot.
But there's so much other good Civil War stuff to do, like this. So
there is, yeah. We're talking about some other stuff. We are talking about sticking with the American Civil War as a topic for the foreseeable future. So, at least until our face-to-face gaming resumes here locally, which does not appear to me like it's going to happen for at least another month. And I think the only thing that I'm actually committed to, because during the pandemic, somebody has moved out of town. So the only thing I'm really going to be committed to locally is going to be Wednesday nights. So we'll still be doing online stuff around that.
I think we absolutely can. All right. Well, good night, everyone.